There's some real value in here to help protect people. And if you know of people who are vulnerable to things like this, who have fallen prey to things like this in the past, please, regardless of the fact that we might get some click-throughs and pick up a few dollars or a few pennies, please share it with them. I just don't want to see people getting taken advantage of. And I know that's hard to believe because I'm a car guy, but it really is true. Black Shirt Tuesday.
I was trying to show off.
Okay, me too then.
Yeah. Whose arms are bigger? Wow! That's impressive.
Yeah, for an old guy that don't move.
That's pretty good. I mean, I think it might be, I don't know, I might be a little bit bigger than you, but just a little.
Yeah, well, 44 years younger.
Yeah. All right, so here's what we're talking about today. We are not comparing arm sizes. We potentially are comparing car prices at findthebestcarprice.com/insider.
Yes, because what's the one thing you really want to do in life? And that's find the best car price. And the best place to find the best car price is at findthebestcarprice.com. Their name says it all. Don't forget, /insider.
I love it.
Yeah.
Link down below, continued sponsor, thank you. And what we are seriously talking about today, though, is a really important topic.
Yes.
And as you can see from the title of the video and the thumbnail image of my dad and I going like, car buying scams. Car buying scams.
Car buying scams.
Yeah. Yes.
We have too much fun with this. Car buying scams. So, I sent my dad a couple articles that I had found, there are so many different ways that people try and screw you over. And when you're making the second biggest purchase of your life in the midst of a pandemic, they come up with really creative ways to try and screw you over.
Yes. Scammers are, at the very least, scammers are incredibly creative.
I mean, they're really smart people.
They are. They just apply their
in a not so
smartness
great way
in the wrong manner. But that's why there's agencies to try and protect us from people like that.
Like us, we are here to try and protect you. So, Dad,
Yes.
run us through, if you don't mind. We had two different types of scams.
Yes.
Both COVID-19 pandemic related.
Yes.
Run us through.
Okay. The two scams. One is a marketing related scam, where the FTC has filed a complaint against a dealer marketing firm, and that firm's name is Traffic Jam Events, because God knows if you're running a dealership, you want a traffic jam in your parking lot. And the whole concept between...
I just love it because, the Find the Best Car Price, you came up with the slogan for them. Traffic Jam Events, you came up with... What's our slogan? Two knuckleheads and a camera.
Pretty much.
All right, sorry.
So anyway, Traffic Jam Events is charged with multiple counts of deceptive conduct by the FTC. And basically what they were doing, they were deceiving customers by sending them mailers directing them to obtain federal COVID stimulus benefits so that they could use that to buy cars. In addition to misleading them with the COVID-19 mailers, the company sent flyers to these people containing matching numbers that indicate that the consumers have won a valuable prize.
Now, what were the odds that they won that valuable prize?
Well, the odds were really slim, but they were hidden in such small fine print that probably even with a magnifying glass it was hard to read.
Yeah.
In order to win the prize that you had won, to claim that prize, you actually had to go to the dealership, where at that point you would find out that, you had a 1 in 52,000 chance of having that winning number. I would suggest, and I don't know this to be so, but my guess would be you had a 1 in no chance.
Yeah. Okay.
You could take 52,000. You could make it 520,000. You could make it 52 million. Okay. Because I don't know. I've seen marketing like this, and I've never ever seen anybody come up with a winning number.
Yeah.
It's just funny the way that works. So this violates the FTC rules and regulations in Truth in Lending Regulation Z for clearly disclosing required credit information in their advertising. It's just a scam to get people through the door. And you've heard me say it before that those who can afford to pay the least end up paying the most. Those who know the least end up being taken advantage of the most. And that's what these...
It's predatory marketing, and,
Yes.
and it's good that the FTC
Stepped up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it actually, and I know you'll talk a bit more about this particular scam, but the other scam that you'll get into, again, predatory, taking advantage of people who don't have a lot of resources. It's just...
Yes.
And the reason that we're making this video is, I mean, hopefully we can shed light to it, have a little fun with it, but also to make you aware that if you are in a position where we talk about it, you've talked about it so many times, when is the best time to buy a car?
When you don't need it.
So when you do need it and you're in a pandemic and maybe you're not particularly affluent, it's a tricky situation to be in, and you do not want to fall prey to these things that sound too good to be true.
Here's another one. And
Yep.
this is really sad, because this is truly taking advantage of people that just don't have the financial backing to be able to afford a loss like this.
And this is the type of story where it makes you really wish that as part of our public school education, there's more, financial training and just, it's just stuff that you wish you'd been taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go over the scam with you, and as we've discussed week after week in our weekly used car market report, that used car prices are exorbitantly high. And in the middle of a pandemic, with people who have very little money, who need transportation and are looking for inexpensive vehicles, this scam is intended for them. And unfortunately, it works. And the scammers know that people are looking for cars that are a particularly good value. And the scam worked this way. There was a young mother in the Cincinnati area that needed a car. She has 2 young children. She needed a car to be able to pick up groceries and things of that nature, but she needed an inexpensive car. So she looked on Craigslist, Facebook, and various other selling apps,
Yep.
and she came across a 2008 Honda Accord listed for $1,200. Now, it doesn't take a genius to know that, well, $1,200 seems awfully cheap for that kind of car, especially in today's world.
Yep.
So it caught her eye. She said, I need to move on this car. So she contacted the seller. And
This is private party. This is
private party,
not a
yeah, not a
dealership.
dealer. Yeah, dealers can
Dealers work with traffic jam event scams.
yes, they don't do this type of scam.
Yeah.
And so the seller responded, the reason that the price was low is it was her son's car, and he had recently passed away, and she needed to get the money
Yep.
out of the car. She needed to sell it fast so she could take care of her son who passed away, and the funeral and all that. So the seller said, because of COVID-19, I want to do all this virtually. I don't want anybody coming to the house. There's not going to be any test drives. So the seller sent her a web page for eBay Motors, which promised full buyer's protection and said it would handle the payment and shipping for her.
And let's just harp on this for one moment. So that is the seller is sending what looks like, and it is eBay Motors, reputable, right? You can
Yes.
buy cars off eBay Motors. The issue is, does the car actually exist? And in this case, that's what you'll get to. So
Yeah.
if you find a car on Craigslist, or if you find a car on Facebook, or if you find a car anywhere but not on eBay Motors, but then someone says to you, oh, actually, I want to take care of the transaction
Yeah.
through eBay Motors, don't do it.
Yeah, that's a
the
red flag right there.
The bigger red flag is what
Yeah,
you're about to-
here's the really big red flag. The eBay Motors page told her to buy eBay gift cards at the drugstore, and then reply to the seller with those gift card numbers.
$1,200.
$1,200 worth
gift codes.
of eBay gift cards. And as soon as this young lady rifled off all those numbers to the seller was no longer to be found.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
There was no car, there was no seller, there was no way to get in touch with them. The web page was a fake web page. eBay
listing, yeah.
eBay does not sell cars. They don't offer a guarantee on cars. It was just all a scam. And really what you need to know to protect yourself, there, and you've heard me say it. If something seems too good to be true, it's because it is too good to be true. Okay? If it just doesn't seem right, it's because it probably isn't right. So, if somebody asks you to pay for a vehicle or anything with, well, go to the grocery store or the drugstore and buy gift cards and read me the gift card numbers, that's the first red flag that says to you, this is not legitimate. Okay? You know, a seller might want, I don't know, cashier's check, cash, but they don't want, well, the only reason they want gift cards this way is because, well, now you can't track them, and they can just cash them any way they want. The other thing that you should do to protect yourself, if the price is so much lower than what everything else is, there's a reason. That's to attract your attention. That's to get you to say, man, I have to hurry up and buy this.
Yep.
And to get you to spend your money before you realize that you're being taken advantage of.
And you know, I've experienced that in the past. Buy, cars that too good to be true, and next thing you realize, oh, the auto check didn't say that there had been a previous accident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a reason that the price is the price, and you have to be wary of that.
Yes. And then the third thing to protect yourself is never, never, ever buy a car where A, you can't drive it, you can't see it, you can't send somebody to inspect it because, well, you know, there's COVID and we want to protect ourselves. All they're trying to do is protect their identity, get your money, and not really sell you anything. So just use, and I say use common sense, but the problem with common sense is it's just not all that common. So just remember, if it sounds too good to be true, more than likely it is too good to be true.
Yeah.
If people are asking you to pay with something other than a check or cash, that's a huge red flag. If they don't want you to see the car and touch the car and drive the car, that's another red flag. You know, money's hard to come by. And what you need to do is you need to do everything in your power to protect your resources, your finances, so that you don't fall prey to well, scum like this.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
No, that was good.
You know, I mean, I've been called scum most of my adult life because I was in the car business. But it doesn't mean that simply because I was in the car business I was scum. But there are people out there that really are scum. And to take advantage of the people that have the least is really just sickening and disgusting in my mind.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I guess I'll leave for one parting shot I have is you had written, I think maybe we collaborated on it, the FTC put out a car buyers report at the end of July, so whenever you're watching this, I'll link to that down below. We did pretty much a synopsis of the challenges and struggles and different mischievous things that happen during the car buying process. Definitely take a peek at that, read that. These 2 articles will also be linked down below. And if you think someone could benefit from watching this video, share it. Put it on
please.
Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. You on TikTok?
I don't even know what
I
TikTok
don't either.
is, but
I don't know either.
if I could figure it out, I'm sure I'd want to be on it. The one thing I do want to say is I know we get paid for people to watch these things through the advertisements.
Yeah.
But it really is, there are some important things that even above and beyond what the little bit we might get from people actually watching it, there's some real value in here to help protect people. And if you know of people who are vulnerable to things like this, who have fallen prey to things like this in the past, please, regardless of the fact that we might get some click-throughs and pick up a few dollars or a few pennies, please share it with them. I just don't want to see people getting taken advantage of. And I know that's hard to believe because I'm a car guy, but it really is true.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you, Zach.